Overcast, the podcast beyond World of Warcraft.
Welcome everybody to Warcraft. This is the seventh episode.
Oh, yeah.
And man, it's been a journey so far. Of course, we have our dearest Flame over there.
Oh, thank you very much, dear Marcelian over there.
And today, my friends, it's been a long time coming, and we've had our eyes on this bad boy for a while. You saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. It's none other than Accolonn.
How's it going, buddy?
What's up, guys? How you fucking doing?
No, you gotta do your intro, man. You gotta do the intro.
All right. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Accolonn here, and welcome back.
Yes, yes.
Happy to have you here.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's the good
yeah.
stuff. That's the good stuff.
So Accolonn, a lot of you probably know Accolonn from his YouTube, or some of you from his streams, you know, on Twitch or YouTube. I saw him stream on both platforms. But hey, let's just have the man talk a little bit about himself. And, you know, Accolonn, take the stage, my friend. What do you do? What is it with you?
All right. Well, I do a little bit of everything. I think I am a proper extrovert in that I get bored with one thing if I do one thing for too long. So my main shtick, the thing that I love most, is lore, right? So and not just lore like novel. So novel is the Bible of WoW lore.
Yeah, the granddaddy.
I take what novel does and I speculate about the future of World of Warcraft. So whatever is supposed to happen, I take the story and I say, right, what can we extrapolate from this? How can we move forward with the story? That's what I love doing. And it's as low budget as comes. There's nothing high fidelity about it. It's just me sitting in front of a camera talking to hopefully an audience that enjoys the shit.
I'm sure there is, man.
No.
It's not, you know. I don't think the most important thing for your content, at least, especially on the whole speculation thing, is first of all the energy, then second the personality, and third the points that you make. Right? It's high fidelity that comes whenever you want to do it. It's something on second base. You know, the true favor is there. The passion, Accolonn, it is there. Yeah. That's what's important.
I think it's very much about that. Like what you just said there, it's about the community joining in. So my videos, I when I make points, I'm very clear. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys disagree with us, right? Because everyone has opinions and everyone loves the lore.
Oh yeah.
And it's all about the feeling I go for is we're all sitting around a campfire, having a drink, and talking about WoW lore, like you would do with your friends anyways when you're going to a campfire and having a barbecue, right?
That sounds so
Unfortunately, I don't have the equipment to do an actual campfire, but that's the thing that I'm going for, is more friends talking about WoW.
That's pretty good, man. And let me be honest, with all this social distancing, I would go for a campfire barbecue WoW talk. Oh, that sounds so good right now.
Yeah, that would be so good.
At one point in this lifetime, we shall. I can already see like a bunch of WoW nerds, you know, like I can see
that would be awesome.
And, you know, and everybody talking about and speculating about stuff. That's really cool.
I'm thinking about the
That's
steak.
Something that should be a fucking stream. Like if that ever happened, that should be a stream.
100%.
I think that would be great.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like you mentioned that you are quite open, and you always mention to your audience that, hey guys, do you disagree? What's your opinions on this? Did you ever had like a heated discussion in the comment section regarding one of your videos, something like that? Do you recall anything like that?
Yeah, it happens a lot. So people disagree a lot. That's, I think, the beauty of WoW is everyone has their own opinions on where the story is going, and a lot of people don't like when their opinions and your opinions don't align. So I've had many a discussion in the comment section on, you know, people disagreeing with me. But I have a very simple rule. I'm all for free speech. I'm all for people saying whatever the hell they want. It's how you say it, though. So if someone comes into my channel and calls me a stupid fucking asshole, that's an easy block, right? You get muted from the channel. I'm never going to see your shit again. So you can rage as much as you want in the background. But if you come in and you're respectful and you tell me you think I'm wrong, here's why you think I'm wrong, I'm happy to have that debate. I'm happy to sit because I'm learning, right? Almost every single thing I know, or every video I've done has been inspired by someone either in the comment section or on Discord or on Twitter. So it's
And
that's
fun for me.
That's a beautiful thing, actually.
That's a really good mentality to have, especially with the type of content that you do.
Yeah,
I think so. Like you said, you get bored easily, but I'm curious. I'm going into a little bit of the World of Warcraft things here because I've been watching your ass for a while. You may not know it, but I know I've kind of learned about your, let's say, transformation. But we'll take it from the get-go. As a person who gets bored very often, Accolonn, or should I call you Stefan? Is that okay? Should I call you Stefan?
Stefan is fine. Accolonn is fine. Whichever way you want.
All right. So every time I see you, even in the Shadowlands alphas and betas and whatever, but anytime I see you actually play the game, you always play a warlock, and you played a warlock for the longest time, my man. My
first character ever made.
All right, beautiful. But what keeps you playing warlock over and over?
It's the god class. It's the best class in the game.
You gotta give me reason for that, my man.
All right, well, it's simple. So way back in the day when Shamans first was developed, and this is canon, by the way. I don't care if Blizzard doesn't agree. This is canon.
Okay.
When Shamans wanted more power, they became mages. So everyone knows mages are more powerful than Shamans because Shamans suck dick. But when mages couldn't become more powerful, they became warlocks. And all the mages that we have today are people who simply couldn't cut it as warlocks. That's the truth.
Wait. I have a question for you because I like my lore, but I didn't keep up with it. And I always thought that warlocks were the results of shamans no longer being able to connect with the elements and tending to fail afterwards. Isn't that how it happened, or?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going actual Blizzard canon lore, not Accolonn's canon lore, what he decides is the fucking lore.
And you don't fuck with Accolonn canon, man.
There's a couple of ways that it could go. It's been retconned a few times with changes here and there, but it basically turns into shamans who could no longer really connect, embracing the foul. Yeah. There's also a theory that mages started embracing the foul, and this is how warlocks came to be. But for me personally, so on a more serious note, why do I play warlock? When I made my character all the way back in vanilla, so I started not in the beginning of vanilla, I started towards the end of vanilla because I didn't have the internet in South Africa to actually play the game online. We still had dial-up until like late vanilla. And then I started my first character and I was reading through, I don't know if you guys remember, World of Warcraft used to have, when you choose characters, they would give you this little bit of backstory about how warlocks are not really accepted in the Alliance, and this is why they're in the basement, and in the Horde, they can be great leaders, but they're also distrusted by Thrall. When I read what warlocks do, I was like, this is my fucking class. A class that feeds on the agony of its enemies. How can you not want to play that? So I just
is that the purpose in life?
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, one of my favorite pastimes outside of making YouTube videos is watching people fall on YouTube. Those fail army compilations is like it keeps me busy for hours.
Is that still a thing? I know I used to watch that a lot. Fail army,
lose hours.
It's still a thing.
Oh, yes.
It's still a thing. And I still laugh at all of it.
We'll 100% get to that. All right, but do you play any other classes? I mean, okay, Warlock is your most played, but what about, I don't know, any other classes you would go for?
Back in the day, before World of Warcraft started, in Legion really, when we started with the whole borrowed power bullshit, where ults became almost impossible to really play at a high level because borrowed power takes so much time to invest in. But back in WoD, I had every single character at max level at 120, what was 100 at that point. Yeah, so every character was at 100, and I raided, I would say, semi-hardcore on the warrior, the paladin, the druid, and the shaman. When I say semi-hardcore, I mean like heroic, nothing mythic. My warlock was the mythic one. I can play every single class in the game. Like, let's be fair, World of Warcraft is not a hard game, right? You need like an hour with a class, then you figured it out. So I can play every single class in the game, but there's a few that I really dislike. Arms warrior, I fucking hate. Elemental shamans, I hate.
Oh no!
all healers I hate. Like, healer is the most boring class in spec to play. I don't want to keep people alive. I want to kill shit.
It's a warlock. What did you expect?
I love tanks. I enjoy my tanking when I have time to actually play it.
All right, so it's interesting. It's like Accolonn is either white or black. There's no gray area here. So healers, fuck them. I don't like being a warlock. Like...
I get bored looking at raid frames and going, "Oh, this guy's low. I guess I'll heal him." I get so bored doing that during a fight. I once walked off. That's how I know I'm not for healing. We were in the middle of heroic. Can't remember the boss. It was the first boss in Cataclysm. In the first raiding Cataclysm, that worm thing. What was his name?
I don't remember.
This giant fire worm.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, that one, the giant fire worm.
Yeah, exactly, that one. Yeah,
the giant fire worm. And I was busy healing people, and I just got up and went to get a drink. I was just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm bored. I'm gonna leave now.
You're downplaying healing, which I really like, and I never seen healing being made to look so uncool. It's brilliant. I love it.
Wow.
Look, if we're gonna get into some World of Warcraft stuff here, let me just say, I think Blizzard could make healing very interesting. The problem is just that Blizzard seems stuck in their ways of healers just look at raid frames and that's all healers do. Yeah. I think you could come up with, like, Mistweavers were very cool for a while, especially their smart healing. I love that idea.
Sure,
I just think Blizzard should really start building on that more. Healers should be more support classes rather than just pure healing classes.
I was about to say, I think fist weaving is one of the first steps that they could take into actually making a healer, because Mistweaver has smart heals, meaning that you don't need to be focused on the frames as much. And then you can just like interact with the encounter. I mean, it's nice to, you know, preemptively counter mechanics with cooldowns and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, like you said, I mean, just looking at frames and I'm clicking X and I'm healing the thing that he took because that's somehow interesting. I get that, right? That's why fist weaving is really cool. And when you can, the boss is smashing the ground, but you put your bubble up and nobody takes them. It's like, fuck you, boss. What's up?
It's also an argument for this priest too, because this priest can also have this middle melange between, you know, healing the party frames, but mainly dealing damage and making sure attunement is up. It's these two specs of healing are different, but the rest are more or less playing with the party frame.
I think Blizzard is. If there's one thing I would say about Legion, really, ever since Blizzard did the major, what I call the blank slate character theory, you know, Blizzard decided to make boring classes so that they could make borrowed power kind of make it interesting again, right? So the classes on their own is very boring, but as soon as you add the borrowed power, they become interesting again. Whenever Blizzard did that, they went into this mindset of safety, you know? They don't want to go too far with something because I think they're afraid that they're going to piss off their audience. And I would want to say, dude, you're already pissing off your audience with BFA. How about you just do something dangerous and see how it works out? Make cool healers. You know, make the Mistweaver like it used to be, where fist weaving was actually all about the damage. The more damage you did, the more healing you would put out, you know? You'd be able to get your mana back. There was so much going into it. Embrace that level of playstyle. I think that's something that would make me maybe play a healer. Maybe. And no offense to healers, we do need you, especially me. I don't move from fire because that's not my fucking job. There's a reason there's healers.
You cannot cast Gasbolt while moving.
I mean, if I'm doing the job of not taking damage, then really I'm taking your job from you. So
that's the best one I've heard so far.
Let's take these quotes and put them into the guild raids, you know. Dude, it's definite, but this optic regarding the changes in Legion, I never looked at it that way, but you're actually right. It does feel, I didn't feel it as much in Legion, but I definitely felt it in BFA, where your class would feel really, really weak until 8.2, basically, when we had all of the majority of the traits and then the essences, right? I'm not talking corruptions when I go in there. That's fine.
No. Yeah. That's the thing. Same thing with Shadowlands. They're nerfing stuff like Mage Shimmer cooldown just so that they can bump it back with a conduit. That felt a little bit awkward. It's like, you're taking away stuff for classes just to give them back through conduits. Okay, I get that the classes maybe have some things that are overpowered, but when you do it like that, it's like, you know, those special Black Friday discounts where they bump the prices up a month before, and then you're like, oh my god, look at the discount that we're having. Woo!
Good analogy.
It's the problem. That's the perfect analogy, by the way. And just for people that are wondering why I'm not looking at the camera, Marcelian Flame is on this screen.
Yeah, it's fine.
Same here.
The problem that I see with World of Warcraft is, and I understand why Blizzard decided in Legion to start doing borrowed power, right? Because it's easier. Before this, they had to create 3 new spells or talents for every single spec in the game. You know, that's a lot of specs, a lot of new talents that needs to be figured out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember, Classic, TBC, Wrath, Cataclysm, Mist of Pandaria, reworks on almost all of the major classes.
Yeah.
Every single expansion, just because they were always trying to make it new and make it better. So it was a lot of work. So I understand why they did this in Legion, where they made the characters more blank slate. So on its own, and why I didn't feel it in Legion is because the artifact system was actually perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, the artifact system reintroduced a lot of intricacy to the playstyle. It made it more difficult. It gave you a rotation that you had to play around, more things to watch, more spells and abilities. Your spells and abilities would work differently with the legendary system as well. And BFA, unfortunately, that sync wasn't there because everything was automatic.
Yeah.
Right? It was just on your character, and you just had this boring-ass character sitting there going, "No, I have 4 spells. This feels great." I'm playing League of Legends in World of Warcraft.
It felt like that for a while, for sure. It's well, I'm hoping that the majority of things, because one difference between Legion and BFA was like you said it, in Legion we had the artifact system from the get-go and we built upon that. Like in BFA we had 3 different power gains, right? Starting with the Azerite traits, then essences, then corruptions. And also I believe like within the traits you still had a long fucking time until you got the right ones and also be able to unlock everything. While in Shadowlands, from what they keep on telling us, is that all of the player power systems like covenants and soulbinds and legendaries, those will be available from the get-go. You still have to work towards them, but they'll be there from the get-go. Now, not in patch 9.2 or something like that. So that's hopefully better than BFA. But on that note, Accolonn, thinking about Shadowlands. Now you played the beta, you played the alpha, right? Still
alpha not, but beta, yes.
But okay. What is like the most exciting thing for you about Shadowlands, if there is any such thing?
Oh God, lore. Oh my God, the lore it's explosive. I mean, I'm having the time of my life reading every single quest. The people on my stream are probably bored of this at the moment because I read every quest that I'm doing. The lore is insane. From a gameplay perspective, the Covenants are amazing. The story that the Covenants tell, the ideological difference that Blizzard introduced with the Covenants, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like voting for your favorite political party. You either love the Vainthir or you hate the Vainthir. You either love the Necrolords or you hate the Necrolords. Or like me, I hate the Kyrians, and I could really care less about fucking the Night Fae. I am a Necrolord and maybe Vainthir, depending on where the base
what a shock.
Warlock is.
Why am I not surprised?
The thing that bothers me about it is the player power. I wish they would remove the player power from the Covenants because I think the Covenants work perfect as a story. As the storytelling mechanism, it's perfect. It gives so much choice, so much flavor. It doesn't need the player power on top of it because that takes away the choice, in my opinion. It doesn't add choice.
It's like
I agree. It's how they did it with Suramar. Everybody, I don't know if there's a person that hated Suramar. Maybe not everybody loved it, but I think pretty much everybody liked it. And it was like no part. It was just story. It was unlocking Nighthold.
It was beautiful, man. I didn't play WoW that much for story, but Suramar was.
I loved Suramar, especially the idea of building up your own little base. You know, seeing that tree grow and seeing the things fix around Suramar and how you unlock more and more of it.
Yeah.
I love that. I logged in every single day. I would miss the world quest. Fuck that. But the Suramar world quest and the Suramar dailies, they had to be done daily.
Sure.
So, Yeah. No,
So,
I
and
think
that's how I
Covenant
felt
to be
with the Covenant stories for sure.
It is something to look forward to. I know Ian is stubborn about the whole concept of an RPG in an MMORPG, but I think I don't know if Preach said this or maybe Hero. I'm not 100% sure. No, I think Crucial said it in a video. The thing about choices in RPGs is absolutely brilliant, not in an MMO. Because an MMO is far more than your usual RPG. You have your elements, and you guys pointed out beautifully, like the Covenants would be an excellent driver for story, for choices on paths going into your character and developing, how your character looks and the story of your character and where he belongs in the world. That's perfect. That would be perfect. Adding that player power to it, and don't get me wrong, Covenants don't look that much more problematic now rather than the fucking soul binds and the bonuses in dungeons and shit. That's like a whole nother level, right? So I don't know, man. I think they're sticking to this for sure. At least
I would on that I would say if it is Crucial that said that, he is absolutely correct. My own thing that I said during the stream while I was watching Preach and Ian talk about this was, in a game where the best option, right? It's first of all in a competitive game, where the best option will be theory crafted a week before the expansion launch or even a patch launch.
Yeah.
There is no choice. Like, what choice are you talking about? Because there's a base choice and then there's a bunch of wrong choices.
That's
right?
what it is. Yeah.
So personally, if you want choice, you have to include agency, but that agency cannot be tied to the competitive side of the game. The second you combine it with competitive, there's no more choice. I'm going to have to play Ardenweald or Night Fae if they're the best for Warlocks. Otherwise, pug groups are just going to go a little Ellie giggle, you're not coming to the fucking pug. And I'd be like, damn, I'm not coming to the pug. So yeah, for me, I just don't like it. I feel like Blizzard misses the mark so often with these RPG bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just muting a bunch of people who's sending me messages because it's making the noise of receiving DMs. So
but we didn't hear it. We didn't hear anything, so that's fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, it felt like over the years Blizzard have become stubborn in what they want to design for the game and how they want their quests and accessibility to be, like, grow the game. But I mean, BFA is a clear result of that. The accessibility, the lack of depth, the lack of you said about like yourself choice. I mean, when if you're not gonna play the game competitive, then nothing really matters. And if choice is impactful, then nothing really matters. But when you give, you can have power A or power B, and you can choose, like, but that's not. You said it. We got 3 talents every new expansion and 1 or 2 extra spells, but you didn't have to, like, go through 2 weeks of grinding to switch from one to the other. That's. I don't know, but they're like slowly shedding away their stubbornness. So one can only hope that maybe one day they can get rid of this as well. They're slowly, like, working out their GCD issues. So fingers crossed.
Their mindset is correct. Ian kind of shot his own argument in the foot because he used gear with Preach. He used gear as the example, right? When you get a trinket that's perfect for single target, that's the trinket that you're going to use, right? And that is an impactful choice. The problem with what Ian was saying there is, but when I get another trinket that's good for AoE, there's no rule ever that has existed in World of Warcraft that said, if you use this trinket, you're not allowed to use the other one, right?
Yeah, it's true.
If I have both, I can use both, unless it's unique equip, right? But that's a whole different story. The problem with what Ian still seems to miss here is the whole point of choice is to give players as much choice as possible, not lock choices behind barriers that they can't get to. So hopefully they see that before we get into Shadowlands. But even without that, let me just say, for anyone that's watching that is on the fence, get Shadowlands. It's going to be great.
It's going to be much
fucking
better.
great.
Yeah, it's going to be much better than BFA. I mean, at this point, playing in beta and alpha and stuff, it's confirmed. Definitely a lot better experience. At least if you're just a filthy casual, then it's going to be perfect. If you're trying to get some things done, perfect. If you're competitive and moving on to the higher bracket, it's gonna be fine, probably more on down the line. But overall, great package, great package. Whew.
100% agree with
different kind
that.
of beans,
100% agree.
Yeah. All right.
Remember, people have to remember, as content creators, our job is to nitpick on even the most useless of things. So, because you're trying to fix the game, you're trying to give feedback that makes the game better. So yes, we nitpick on things, but in the grand scheme of things, I would say Covenants being tied to player power is like a 5% of the whole expansion. Like, it's not even worth mentioning for you to buy the game or whatever.
Right. Well, yeah, it's definitely going to be something that's going to show up. Moving a little bit out of WoW, we actually had a really personal question that we wanted to ask. So you've been having your YouTube account for, what is it, 10 years now?
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's 2010. It shows.
And
but I started that YouTube channel back in college. I uploaded 4 videos. My internet wasn't good enough to upload videos, so I stopped entirely. My channel, like the World of Warcraft channel, started about 3.5 years ago.
All right.
That's
well,
when
I think
officially started.
Right. I know I've discovered you in Legion when I was looking at Warlock stuff, because Warlock is also a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah, that's when I started, by the way, in Legion.
No, I think I've devoured all of your Warlock videos in Legion. I don't know if I skipped one. But back to the question. So, what got you to shave your hair in 2017?
And cut your beard too. And as you're gonna say this, we're gonna put on the video because I found it remarkably.
Man, I look sick in that video. Like I seriously look as if I have some kind of illness in that video.
Dude, it's
it was just, I guess, back to the whole getting bored with stuff, you know? I was getting bored with the beard. I was getting bored with my hair. And I just thought, you know what, fuck it. Let's take everything off and see how I look. Turns out not that great. Without the, because there's a very pronounced double chin, of course, there. A nice fat kid look when I don't have the beard.
I love it.
I promised my viewers that I would shave once we reach target weight, because I've been on a quite a heavy diet for a while. But I promised my viewers I would shave just so that I could see for once what I would look like skinny and without a fucking beard. But I don't know why I did that. I seriously, looking back at that video, I cringe every fucking time.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna remember those kind of decisions, man. I think that's perfect.
But it was a celebration for you getting 1,000 subscribers, if I recall it. It was something in regards to 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, well, it was like, it started at 500 subscribers. I was saying I don't think I'll ever get to 1,000 subscribers, but if I do, I'll do something big. And then when I fucking got to 1,000 subscribers, like 6 months later, it was the hair and the beard that had to go.
Oh no, I actually got it. I didn't think it.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Didn't think I would get it, because I mean, I looked at your videos. I looked at so many people's videos, especially Nobel's videos, so high quality. Balilus videos, so high quality, and I kept thinking to myself, this is not. I'm nothing. I don't have editing skills. At that point, I didn't even know what editing was, just FYI. I didn't have editing skills. I don't know how to make a thumbnail. I knew nothing. Like, if you look at my first videos, all of those thumbnails are made on a free, like a web page that gives you a free ability to make some thumbnails. You can import a picture and put like a couple of words on it. Like, you can't do focus or jack shit with that. That was it. That's all I knew what to do. To this day, I'm horrible at Photoshop or any of that shit.
It's it's humble beginnings for sure, but I mean, the most important thing out of it is being consistent and always improving, man. It's not like and people who love the content are sticking around, and the community is growing. So you have your own shtick, you have your own thing. As I said, like in the beginning of the video, it doesn't have to be super production value, super edited. That's something that some content creators really put a mark on. but some other content creators use their mark on more of the personality and more of the subject matter. And I honestly don't believe super high editing and production value is that needed when you're doing a lot of, lore stuff and speculation. That really has to portray more of the personality, the arguments, the energy. So it's good, man. It's good. There's no way. Yeah.
As we discussed at the beginning as well, I do see a slowly but sure change in the World of Warcraft YouTube community, what content people choose to consume. Right. I specifically see it now a lot with Balula. Even Balula has started to do the whole, mic right there, sitting, talking to his audience rather than just, reading off the teleprompter. I think people want something real, especially now with COVID, where people are so removed from friends and family and people.
Sure.
Having something real is something that they want, and it plays perfectly for me because I don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing when it comes to Photoshop. I luckily have an editor now. We have an editor who...
Ooh, congrats. Moving up the scale, buddy boy. That's cool.
The quality is a little bit higher, but it's now that sort of, I don't know if you guys know what absurd theater is.
Absurd theater. It sounds very familiar. Oh, can I put my mind around it?
I studied drama at university, drama, acting, and singing. And so absurd theater is theater where you make things look like an accident, even though it's not an accident. And it's bad acting, but bad acting planned for, right? So it looks like the actors can't act. It looks like everything is going wrong. It's a comedy form. But it's amazing to do that. So that's what my editing style is. It still has to look really low budget, even though it's not really anymore. So that's what Alex has to go for. Yeah.
you gave him quite specific like triggers to go for, but I gotta say, like, the quality has improved. Like starting from when you first started doing this, it has definitely improved. And you know what, man? I'm really happy that you found your spot, because maybe I'm wrong, but again, I follow you for the longest time, and I saw, like, at some point you started doing the different games. You started doing a lot of gaming news coverage, and then going back to WoW. It felt like you were finding your place. Did you? Yeah. Do you feel like you found your place? I definitely see it. Like, this is definitely Accolonn's thing. Like, lore and speculation, and some motherfuckers, all of that. That's the brand.
Yeah.
That is that like? Yeah. Are you settled now? Is this okay? This is the path. I'm going with this 100%.
Yeah, there's actually, I guess, a bit of a dark story behind the other games that I ventured into. About a year and a half ago, I went through what can only be described as a depressive episode. I've never been depressed in my life, so I did not understand what was happening to me. But it was the darkest time of my life. It had to do with love and a girl and shit.
Oh boy!
And I basically self-destructed. I hated everything. My content showed that. I was angry at the world. And at that point, the gaming industry was giving me every reason to be angry at the world. And so I almost ruined my channel. I lost over 2,000 subscribers thanks to that little stint. We finally got all of that back and more. But, I lost my mind for a while. Yes, I would say, to answer your question in a very long-winded way, yes, I am. I'm finally feeling at home with what I'm doing. I wake up and I'm excited for what I'm doing. And I still do a little bit of this and that, and I still plan on getting into the gaming news, but not daily. I think that's too much negativity for people. Once a week, quick 10, 15 minutes, tell people what goes on in the gaming industry and fucking move on with your life. Because there's too much negativity. I don't think people need that.
Oh, yeah.
So... but I'm loving what I do now.
And it shows, man. It shows because it's so relatable. Just because I think a lot of content creators in general go through this phase. It could be depression, right? For most of us, it is. It could be burnout. It could be like the anxiety that, you don't know what to do next to, keep the growth going and keep the people interested and stuff. And I know, because I was watching your stuff, and it really felt like, it showed, right? It showed, you were a little bit on all of the planes, it felt like, I want to take that route, but to take that route. And now, I mean, not now, but for, a respectable amount of time, it does show that you finally found your place. And I'm happy to hear, like, you got past that episode, and, you're doing good for yourself. You're hiring editors and shit. How about them apples?
Hey.
It's good.
I finally, I think, I started listening to my community again, which was what I think saved me. I had a very profound email from a viewer that's been around since literally, I think he was like the 10th or 11th subscriber on my channel.
Wow.
And he emailed me during this dark time, and he said, dude, I love you, but this is not possible. Your content makes me depressed. And when he said that, it was just like this bell going off. Dude, what are you doing? You have these people that love listening to you. You're not happy with what you're making. It makes you more and more unhappy. So just fucking get out of that bullshit. Get out of that mindset. So I told the girl to go fuck herself. I changed my life, and I just said, no more. This is it. We're getting back to the roots, back to what I love. And went back to speculation.
There you go.
That's really good, Mac. That's the kind of stuff that it's really, really inspiring to hear, because we all go through like really shit times, depressions and stuff like that. Some more than others, and life isn't particularly easy. But when you can get through that, because we can all, that's what I like, a famous quote is that we can all get through that depression. We have the strength to persevere and get out on the other side, and that's really cool to hear whenever this happens. And like, to that note, what was that inspired you? You said that it was that one message. Is that all the fuel that you needed to go through? Do you have anything else that might have inspired you or pushed you through forward?
I think, I think from there, I really delved into a lot of Jonathan Haidt's work, a lot of Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson's work.
Shit. Well, all right.
I started diving into Steven Pinker's work quite a lot, started looking a lot into depression. And the one thing that you have to do when you find yourself in that dark place is identify, is that darkness coming from within or coming from without? If it's coming from without, change your circumstances, because it will fix the problem. If it's coming from within, go see someone. Yeah. I mean, there's no shame in saying, dude, I need a psychiatrist, or I need medication. There's no shame in that.
There's absolutely no shame. Sure.
Our brains are very complex, and shit, something's gonna break. Have you ever seen a car with no fucking breakage or no problems? No. And that's not nearly as complex as the brain. So go see someone, take that medication, gulp it down like a fucking sailor if you have to, but fix your life, and get yourself out of that darkness. And that was it for me. It was mostly a lot of Jonathan Haidt's work, and then a lot of Jordan Peterson's work that just got me out of that hole that I was finding myself in. It's
Jordan Peterson is also something for both me and Flame. Helped us a lot. Probably in the same, not specifically depression, but a low downtime, like both without jobs, trying to figure out stuff, how to make things work, and definitely Jordan Peterson offered a structure, some sort of, okay, this is how it should work. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's perspective, and I think one of the strongest quotes that I have heard anybody say came from Jordan Peterson, and it was the thing that I just said was like, you know how you grow up and people say like the world is wonderful, and it's really not. The world is difficult. Nature is constantly trying to kill us with diseases and predators and natural disasters and stuff like that. And it's a lot of misery that happens. And whenever you hear that's like, oh yeah, because it happened to me. But when people say, oh look, the life is wonderful, everything is glass half full. And when it doesn't happen to you, then you start to think like, wait a minute, that's not for me. Am I doing something wrong? Am I wrong? But the strongest thing that he said is like, but we have the power to overcome that. And I think that's the most empowering thing I've ever heard, and actually helped me personally a lot in my life.
So true. It's so true. You can only none of us are guaranteed happiness, right? Happiness is something that you achieve through achieving goals. That's where happiness comes from. That's where that dopamine spike comes from. And dopamine is literally what it is to be happy, is a dopamine spike. You can do it with quick stuff like drugs or cigarettes or playing video games, but it's the goal. But one thing I would say is people should really stop looking to Instagram models and YouTubers and fucking celebrities to try and figure out if they're happy. It's not real. The vast majority of people sit in front of a camera, and what you see is what they want you to see, not what is real. Yeah. They don't show you when they're crying in the corner after they've made the video. They're not showing you where they're thinking about suicide. They're showing you what makes them money. So remember that and fix your fucking life.
Like just straight to the point. Now I'm gonna put this out there. Like Jordan Peterson for me is like I took the things that helped me. I don't 100% agree with all of his philosophies and all of his guidance, but it did help a lot. I'm more of a Robert Greene fan, but we'll get to that shortly. Right. It's First of all, thank you so much for being this open, man. We haven't really
pleasure.
Yeah, we haven't really got into stuff like this in our prior podcasts, and I think it's really important that people understand, that especially as being a more or less a public figure in the online space, that shit ain't easy, man. And if you get hit by something hard, like a relationship fail, or I don't know, some sort of drama in your family, and you still have to be that public persona, it's tough. And here you have Accolonn. There's also us. We've been through our struggles, individually, and still try to maintain. It's enlightening and humbling at the same time to see people like just being open. Yeah, man, I went through this. I looked into it. Is it out from inside? Is it from the inside? And take the proper actions. It's a beautiful thing. Don't be ashamed. There's no shame. And as Accolonn put it, the brain is such a complicated device and such a sensitive one. Jesus, you got to take care of that shit for sure. Oh, man.
The fact that we don't fuck up every single child that's born in this world is amazing. Because I mean, something small. You take police officers or military servicemen, veterans. Sometimes something so small that to most of us would seem insignificant can fuck up your entire life. Can give you PTSD. It can do so many things. The brain is, it's a mystery. So never feel ashamed if you feel like you need that help. No, absolutely. Just on the, you said you started your thing with you don't agree with everything that Jordan Peterson says.
Yeah.
I have never met a single person that I agree with on everything. Right?
There you go. Yeah.
I am a very centrist human being. So I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a conservative or a liberal. I believe both sides have good arguments, and I think both sides are also fucking stupid most of the time.
100%.
I follow multiple people. I listen to everyone, and I take what I think makes the most sense for me.
Yeah, for you. Sure. That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
It's filter all the good.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing that we're all different. Little pieces of puzzle making a much bigger picture. It's fine.
Life would be boring.
Exactly, right? Well, let me be different than you, and you be different than me, and we can have a nice chat. When that evolves into something toxic, like what the internet is nowadays, now sign me off.
Fuck Red Paladin's Havoc is the real spec.
What? What'd you say, fool? All right, my man. Now,
I think cancel culture is the biggest problem. Content creators are so afraid these days to say anything, because if you say the wrong thing, you're canceled.
Yeah.
But
sure.
everyone should just do what I do. If you want to cancel me, fucking go for it. I don't care.
Well, it's, you know, it is something, but it's not only like the cancel, the public cancel culture is one thing, but this has also been deep rooted into, you know, YouTube and Twitch and, you know, all the platforms that, you know, we're basically trying to deliver our passion, right? And, you know, help people or entertain them or inform them or whatever. Our platforms are also really knee deep into it. So that, I think the first amount of fear comes from that, from within, you know, the place you're doing shit. Not the public cancel culture. That's a whole different beast. What it is we're living in interesting times. But
Oh yeah, 100% agree.
This, I think 2020 has been one of the most chaotic years
hello.
in modern times. So if we can get through 2020,
That's an accomplishment, right? It's like, hey, humans.
If humans can take one thing, if people can take one thing from 2020, it's, and this is why I said I don't care about being cancelled. If YouTube tomorrow turned around and banned my channel or Twitch banned me, I'm intelligent and humans are made to fucking scram. If you can't eat, you'll find a way to make money to eat. That humans are extremely fucking durable, right?
Yeah.
And 2020 should teach people that we are durable. We can last through a lot. It takes a lot more than a fucking virus to kill us or to stop us.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think people overreact too much. They just fucking hell. Doesn't matter. Life's good, bro.
History
we survive like what, 50 years of McDonald's, we can survive a virus.
Yeah, fuck it.
Oh man. Well, the Accolonn, I always wanted to ask you, man. Like 3 years ago, you basically said that you started properly. Like, did you when you went to like full in YouTube and then streaming and stuff? Was it like a plan or something like, okay, I'm gonna do this full time and let it lead me all the way, or did you have this second thought? I don't know, maybe have a backup or anything like that.
No, I am the most impulsive person you'll ever meet with a lot of things. There's things that I think about long and hard, but for the most part, as I said, I get bored very quickly. I had a business before I started the YouTube channel.
Ooh, do tell more after this. It's interesting.
I had a construction plumbing business. I can't do plumbing for shit, but I had plumbers that worked for me that could do plumbing. So
yeah, boy.
We did construction plumbing, and I got bored very quickly with that. So when I finally had the internet, like I always knew when I studied drama at university, I discovered very quickly that this is not for me. I don't like the fame. I don't like the lifestyle. And when I say fame, I'm not talking about people greeting you in the street. I'm talking about what it does to the famous people. Yeah. You know, we had a guy, I'll never forget this, on campus. In about 3 months, this guy had 10 different religions, right? Every week, it's another fucking religion. Every week, it's another fad. Everything for the actor's mind is about dopamine, and they do the next big thing. And I just never fit into that lifestyle. It just never made sense to me. So I left that, and I knew I wanted to be a YouTuber. The day I found out that YouTube could be a job, I wanted to do it. The problem was South Africa's internet. We had very slow copper ADSL that couldn't upload videos. That was just a nightmare. I left. I sold my company the second I got Wi-Fi that could go up to 10 megabits per second. I sold the company and I started my YouTube channel. Beautiful. That was it. I just jumped. I just said, fuck it. If it fails, I'll go work at McDonald's. I'm sure it will be fine. I just don't want to do this anymore. I want to be a YouTuber. I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. I love entertaining people. And so I started. It went really slow. I pretty much lived off of all the money that I made from the company that I sold. And about a year and a half, that money started to run out. So I had to really start fucking working hard to support myself. But luckily, I've never been one who needs a lot of money. So I've been making my living on $700 a month for like 2 years or some shit.
Ooh, what you did mention I think on a stream, because people, I think it was a stream, people were asking like, hey man, how can you manage to live off of the YouTube income? And you did say that, listen, like South Africa isn't as expensive as, would say, London or I don't know, Germany or something like that. Is that still the case? I mean, are you doing okay for yourself? Obviously growing. Is that still an argument, or are things becoming, I don't know, are the expenses, especially now with an editor and stuff, I'm guessing.
I mean, I'm doing a lot better. Last month was the first time I ever made what I would consider to be even a decent salary in the US. I made over $2,000. So I won't say exactly how much.
Congratulations! There you go.
For the first time ever, and this month we're well on our way to doing it again. So beautiful. It's been great. But yes, you have to remember something about South Africa. The entire tax base for South Africa is about 11% of the population.
Wow.
Pays all the taxes in the country, right? So it's probably a little bit more, like 15 or 16%. The last time I checked was like a few years ago, and it was 11%. Right. So it's a very poor country. The vast majority of people here live under the international poverty line. So a lot of times companies have to take the losses simply because they can't, if they sold it at profit, they wouldn't make any money. So the government has all sorts of ways to reimburse those companies as they plunge us deeper and deeper into debt. So I would say general living is still relatively cheap in South Africa. I mean, my house that I live in right now is a 3-bedroom, double-story house, very big. And I think it's like $600 a month.
$600 a month. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's like $600 a month.
There you go.
And I live with my brothers. Like we all live together. Just because none of us have wives, so why the fuck live alone? And with YouTube, is a very lonely job. So if I did live alone, I don't know what I would do. Like, who would I talk to? Who would I?
Yeah,
it would be boring. So I like living with someone. But yeah, South Africa is still pretty cheap, I'd say.
Hey man, but you're doing good for yourself, and I'm curious now. It's like, I've been watching lately. You've been putting out a lot of videos and streams as well. I've seen it on Twitch. I've seen it on YouTube, the live streams, and also a lot of vids. Like sometimes I see like 2 or 3 videos in the same amount of day or something. It's a lot.
Yeah,
and it does seem like you're kind of a workaholic. But do you ever get to relax? Like, do you take time off? And what do you do if you do?
Very rarely. Even when I'm not putting out videos, I'm doing research into some topic that I want to talk about or something that I want to do. I don't like taking time off. I feel like if you take time off, it's so much harder to get. Like a lot of people say, go on holiday. The problem with going on holiday is when you get back, those first few weeks getting back into work is really difficult. So I prefer just not taking those breaks, and then you can just work. But I think it's also maybe a cultural thing. South Africans, at least my culture of South Africans, so just so people understand, there's 11 different official cultures in South Africa. My culture, the Afrikaans people of South Africa, our language is Afrikaans and we're called Afrikaners. We're very hardworking, right? It's still a very Old Testament type of culture where hard work is how you get to heaven. You have to work your fucking ass off to get somewhere. Now, I don't share the religious side of it, but I guess to me, I'm just so blessed. I think as a content creator, to be able to make content and have people watch it and be paid for what I love, I feel like I owe my viewers that content, I owe them something great. So yeah, and I love doing it, so I don't need a break from it. Find something you love doing, and you'll never need a holiday, and you'll never work a day in your life, I guess is how the saying goes.
It's the thing about it is we talked about this a little bit with Dalaran Gaming as well, and he's also like he was talking about how much he actually puts into his videos and streams and all of that. And at one point, he had the revelation. It's like, man, I haven't taken a vacation in years. maybe I should take some time off, because the burnout is real, man. It will get to you.
Yeah.
You have to be aware. I respect 100% the ethics of hard working. I strongly believe in that. The grind.
Yeah.
Keeping it there.
Yeah,
But-
it's the thing is, I mean, some people can do, some people need a break. You kind of have to, recharge your batteries. The way they say, it doesn't have to be like a week over, but disconnecting from certain things and dipping your toes into other things can give you a little bit of more perspective and give you maybe even more appreciation. But I 100% agree with what you said. Let's go on vacation, coming back to get back into the productive state. It takes a while. It's different with people, for people person to person. I guess it's also a discipline thing, I suppose, and also comes from inside. Like, how much drive do you have? Fortunately for both Marcelian and I, and from what you're telling as well, we actually love what we do. So we're like, we cannot wait to get back into it. I took 2 or 3 days, like, oh my God, but I need to do something. I need to do something. I'm kind of forcing myself to take a vacation now, but even then, like, I don't know how much I'll be able to disconnect from it. But having that passion I think that can save you from those, I need to go back to work, I need to get back into the mood, I need to get back into the routine. I don't think that's as dangerous if you actually do what you like.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think for myself, the biggest problem is I can't relax until I've done at least some work, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
like today, I don't have any videos planned because I've made videos last night. And so I'm going to be doing some research. But let's say, for example, after this recording, I just went and I watched the series, I would be sitting here incapable of relaxing because I know there's something that has to be done. I can still work. I can still make videos. I can still do something. Go do it, Accolonn. That's like my mindset the whole time is I have to do something before I can relax. Even if I can't stream on a night, I sit there feeling guilty the whole time. And then you can't enjoy anything, right? You're feeling guilty the whole time. So in order to not feel guilty, I work. And then I don't feel guilty, and then it's good.
How is it called? The fruit of labor? Food tastes so much better after a long day of work.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
So true.
Well, if it wasn't for YouTube and Twitch, Stefan, what career path do you think you would have chosen? If YouTube didn't exist, Twitch didn't exist, what do you think you would go for?
Law, most likely. That's what I wanted to study before I decided on acting. I was accepted into one of the top law schools in South Africa. I then went to England, and when I came back from England, I was like, fuck that, I'm going acting. But
I got bored. Let's do it. Fuck it.
yeah, I think law. I think I would make a good lawyer. I can talk a lot of shit, and I think that will work.
The energy is there.
I was about to ask you, was coming back from the UK to study theaters because you figured out, I might need some theater skills to practice law.
It might help, yeah. Once they go, because I mean, the courtroom is nothing other than theater at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, England changed me a lot. I went there just after school, like most South Africans back in the day did. England used to give us these working holiday visas for 2 years, and you could just go work there for 2 years. It taught me a lot about myself, and also I did so many things that it was absolutely illegal.
Well.
It was just an embracing time.
Yes.
So yeah, but I think law, most likely. Or if I really could have the freedom to do whatever, so money wasn't really an issue, I would start a restaurant. I love cooking. So cooking is like one of my favorite things in the whole world to do.
Ooh,
I would easily start a restaurant.
Man, that would be so cool. Hey, at some point, with all this money you'll be making from YouTube and streaming and stuff, maybe you will make that stuff happen.
Don't get me wrong. Just looking at you, I'm getting a little bit of an Action Bronson vibe. I don't know what to say.
Oh man, I love Action Bronson. I love Action Bronson.
I think as a YouTuber, you have to diversify as much as possible. So you have to get income streams from as many sources as you can possibly get. Because you're never guaranteed that Twitch is going to be around tomorrow or that YouTube's going to be around tomorrow. So yeah, one of my goals is round about next year, if things continue as it does, to start a small little restaurant. And the thing that saves me is most people in South Africa just buy chain stores, right? They don't open their own restaurants.
Right.
And because I watch a lot of cooking shows, there's so many restaurants that don't exist in South Africa because no one ever fucking thinks of them. Because it's not a chain that they can buy.
Man, best of luck with that. That sounds amazing.
Listen, next year, if you do that shit, we're going to make it work and we're going to come there. We're going to do a podcast in your restaurant.
Oh, that would be
eating
fucking lovely.
Tasting, food tasting. Oh my God, I'm hungry already.
It would be beautiful, man. You know, eating the food he cooked live on the stream and talking shit, and wow, that would be beautiful.
That's
I would love that.
Well, let's
absolutely.
Make it a plan. Hope it works out for you, Ben. It definitely, it's awesome to hear. You know, people having ambitions of and passions of different sorts. You love cooking.
No.
The Flame also loves cooking. But I don't think he's going to be able to open up a restaurant.
No, I'm gonna eat all of the supplies before everything happens. Just gonna cook for myself, and he's like, "Oh shit, was this supposed to go to table 5? What is table 5?"
It's beautiful.
I guess I'm lucky in that I no longer eat. I only eat meat. I've been on the carnivore diet for 3 weeks now.
Like Peterson, haha.
Yeah,
how's that treating you?
I'm on the carnivore diet now for 3 weeks. Feels amazing. So the restaurant that I'll start won't be food that I eat. So that's good.
That's smart.
Yeah, I just have to come up with cool stuff that other people want to eat.
What do the people say? Don't eat your own product, or
something like that.
Yeah, pretty much something like that.
It's definitely about food, 100%.
But how is the carnivore diet going for you, my man? What's the purpose? What's the goal? You want to lose weight? You want to have more energy? What's the whole thing about that?
I just wanted to try,
Right.
That's really it. When I first learned about this diet and I learned about the effects of it, I thought, fuck it. I want to try this. I want to see how this works. The weight loss is really a side effect, but I've lost a ton already. Just in 3 weeks, looking at pictures from my first day that I started this to now, holy shit.
Progress.
So much smaller. But I would say the first 2 weeks was hell. Diarrhea, fucking tired, so drained, mind fog. You just feel like you can't do stuff,
Yeah.
But now it's starting to fix itself. Like I'm starting to feel far better.
Yeah. You're
nowadays.
adjusting.
Yeah. It's an expensive fucking diet though, but I love it.
So you're balancing the vegans in the world.
Yeah, I mean, look, if people have a problem with the fact that I only eat meat, I have a suggestion for them. Go start eating the vegetables, and then I'll eat the fucking meat.
Exactly. Perfect.
Everything in equilibrium.
It's always, I'm always thinking like if there's like a specific type of food diet, there's always that carbohydrate temptation, just sitting there, walking past the store or seeing an ad or everything, you get those cravings like, oh, that donut, I want that donut now.
Krispy Kreme just opened.
Oh,
Not
no.
Just opened, but I
Oh,
just
no.
moved to Pretoria. Krispy Kreme wasn't in Polokwane where I used to live. Now Krispy Kreme is here, and I am in love with Krispy Kreme.
I know. Oh,
But
so good.
The nice thing is, those cravings are going away. They were heavy in the first 2 weeks,
I can imagine.
but for the last 5 days, I've not craved anything. I crave meat. When I'm getting hungry, I want steak. I need some red meat to fucking eat.
Beautiful.
So hopefully that remains, because fuck me, if I start craving Krispy Kreme, I don't know if I can say no.
Keep it together, Stefan. You got it, man.
It sounds pretty cool, and I haven't considered a carnivore diet yet, but I've been interested in trying it out. But it does sound like this is so different, because I've never heard of carnivore diet up until like a year or two ago. I don't know how long this has been going out. I'm not sure if this is an answer to what I was about to ask, but was there any point in your life where you did like where you switched gears 180? You said that you had your own moments when you're like, okay, fuck this shit, let's do that. Was there like a specific moment when you're like, okay, I'm switching this 180% around, 180 degrees around?
In terms of what? Just in life in general?
Life,
or
anything, lifestyle, diet, activities, interests, whatever you want.
I mean, this was a pretty 180 shift from where I used to be, the carnival one. But I'd say the biggest shift in my entire life really came around about the age of 25. I was in high school, at college. I was a complete socialist and communist, like 100%. I bought into the entire, I bought into the government should own everything. Fuck these corporations.
That's really
I would say
interesting.
Yeah, I was 100% as far left as you can fucking go. And at the age of 25, when I started my own company, that's where I went, wait a second, why the fuck is the government getting all my money and they're doing fuck all? Like, they're just making it harder and harder for me to make money. They don't deserve my fucking money, right? So slowly but surely, that there was a shift that transpired within me, or took place within me, where I moved closer to the center. And nowadays, I'm probably as libertarian as it gets, even though I disagree with some of the libertarians as well. I would say that was my biggest shift. I was far left. I've never been far right. That's not really my style. I don't have enough interest to have a problem with people of other races. Like my interest level is just like, if you tell me, hey, we're going to go fucking demonstrate against people of other races, I'm like, I think I'll play games, bro. You go do your thing, right? I'm just going to play games here, and I don't give a fuck what you want to do. So yeah, that's that. I would say that was my biggest shift. Everything else has usually been, I'm very stable. So I have this girl that I'm talking to now, and she always asks me, how are you doing? Like, how's your day going? And then she gets angry because my answer is always the same. Good.
I'm a simple man, doing good.
I don't know, like, how do you have a bad day? Like, I can have a bad hour, right? Something can happen, I'll be like, oh, for fuck's sake, can't believe that happened. But then it's fixed again, and I go on. So I'm always the same. I don't think I ever change. As for someone that's always bored with everything, I am the most boring person you'll meet. I am the same always.
But dude, I never expected this. This is so interesting. Like, hearing part of your story and part of your journey. It's like you had your down moment, you had your far left communist socialist moment. It's like, having your own job and your own business in South Africa, then trying to go for law school, then going into acting and deciding on YouTube. I'm always amazed about the stories on the people, getting to do WoW content creation of whatever. It's beautiful, man. And I'm happy to hear, like, you're in a place right now, and it definitely shows. You're in a place right now where things are good. Probably on almost all fields. I guess anything can be improved, but at this point, hearing part of your journey has just been a trip, man. It's like, sorry, go ahead.
No. I just want to say, well, thank you. You're right, and everything can always improve. Yeah. But it's goals, right? You set goals for yourself, and you fucking try and smash them. My goal right now, Alex's goal, is to get to 50K subs by December. Probably not going to fucking do it, but that's the goal.
It's going to happen. I think you're already at 40 or close to 40.
I'm at 31, I think, now. 31K.
Well,
remember, I've had a very explosive last month. Like, last month, we gained over 3,000 new subs in 1 month. Which was crazy for me. It's the most subs I've ever had in a single month. But the goal is to get to 50K. That's like my one goal. And then I've got goals for my weight loss. I've got goals for my diet. But I think goals is how you always move forward. Set something for yourself and say, like you guys, when you decided to start doing this podcast, it's a goal, right? I'm sure you guys have dreams of where you want this thing to be in a year from now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And that keeps you going. That dream keeps you going. It's that thing that makes you wake up in the morning and go, let's fucking do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I want to do
100%.
this.
Goals, and a little bit of structure goes a long way. And I don't know where I've heard this, but I definitely heard it somewhere. It's like the only people who don't achieve success or don't accomplish their goals are the people that give up. That's kind of like the only real criteria of not accomplishing something.
Don't give up.
Tim Pool showed a study where they took like a bunch of university students. They track their lives from as they leave university to going into the workplace to try and figure out what is the best indicator of success. So is it IQ? Is it how well you did in uni? How well you did in high school? You know? So what is the best indicator of success? And what they found across all of their studies, hard work and perseverance. Those are the only indicators of success. If you want to be successful, grind it out. Just never fucking stop grinding. Make as much as you can. Do as much as you can. Just keep the hustle alive, you know? Keep hustling till you fucking make it.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's 100% what needs to happen. And I was about to ask you something in regards to making it on YouTube, but I think you just answered it now. And I'm gonna go down a different route with you, Stefan, just to close it off, because we are, we're hitting now on closing the podcast, and it has been exquisite.
It's
been a lot of fun, by the way. So much fucking fun.
I did not.
You guys are amazing.
Watch.
But okay,
it takes two to tango, Accolonn. Don't worry about it. It was pretty amazing for us.
The thing is, everybody says they have like no regrets. Right, like anybody you ask was just like, I don't regret anything I do. But like for you, Stefan, when you look back, is there anything you would have done differently? Doesn't matter, your life journey, your YouTube journey, I don't, your whole part of your whole journey.
A couple of things. I would never have started smoking. Like that's my biggest regret. And I know that sounds corny as fuck, but
nah, man, no.
Kicking smoking is the hardest thing you can fucking do in your life. There is nothing harder because it's not just an addiction. It's part of your social framework.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You stand with friends and you have a cigarette in your hand. You have a drink, you have a cigarette in your hand. You have coffee, you have a cigarette in your hand. After dinner, you have a cigarette. So that's the one big regret that I have in my life, ever starting smoking, picking up the first fucking cigarette. And it was the worst cigarette I've ever smoked in my life, but I kept fucking doing it because I thought it was cool. And so, I guess, my number one regret is not learning to respect myself enough earlier on in life. That was a huge problem for me. And it might be because I'm overweight, and you know, overweight people love to make this, they put on this armor. They wear their weight as an armor. So they'll call themselves fat rather than someone else saying it to them, because as soon as they did it, you can't hurt them with it anymore. Yeah. But every overweight person knows that they're overweight. They know that they're fat. They know that they're not the best looking people. And so I used to be this guy who, I was very sure of myself. I was very much out there and doing my own fucking thing. But sometimes people would walk over me, especially girls, would take great advantages of me because I did not respect myself enough to say, no, sorry, this is not going to fucking work for me. And I wasted a lot of time. I think I counted the other day, almost 5 years of my life was wasted in misery because I didn't stand up for myself and say to a girl, sorry, no, this is just not fucking on. And I think that would be like, that's 5 years wasted right now.
It's a long time.
I won't say that I completely regret it, because I think the problem with it is, if you regret it, it means you didn't learn anything from it, right? But because of those things, I have forced myself to learn how to be better and how to respect myself more and to think more of myself. So I don't know. But those are the things that whenever I think of it, those are the things that I think I would have loved to not have done.
It's basically, I know, saying having no regrets. I was just thinking about, if you would have done it differently, not necessarily having regrets over it. But 5 years, my dude, that's a long time. And, it's good that you got over it and you got to see yourself in a better light and having a better perspective and, I don't know, a different confidence about yourself. I think that, it translates in all aspects of your life, right? It transcends everything.
And it comes from so just very quickly, just before we, obviously you guys are going to the end of the podcast now, but it boils down to, we all know of the friend zone thing, right? Where guys complain that they're being friend zoned by girls. The only reason you're being friend zoned by a girl is because you don't respect yourself enough to tell her, no, I will not be your friend while you fuck other guys, right?
Did you hear that, friend? Note that shit down. This is important for friends.
Takes you to the party. If you're not sleeping with me, you can fucking walk to the party. I'm not going out of my way to do it for you.
Wait, let me write this down.
Yeah, this is good lessons for friends. Note it down, my friend. It's good. So listen to Mr. Stefan over here.
For me, you have to have that self-respect. And it's not just for girls. It's with people as well.
Yeah.
If someone is treating you badly and you're not getting anything out of it, then fuck them. They don't have the right to do that. It's your boss can treat you as whichever way he wants. He pays your fucking salary, right? So you're getting something out of that. But if it's a random guy that just wants to shit on you for no reason and you're not getting anything from it, stand up for yourself and walk away. That's when I learned that.
Things changed.
My life became so much better. The ability to walk away, to say, no, thanks. If you don't want to do this on my terms, I'm leaving. I'm not going to be here.
Hell yeah. That's what it is. More power to you, my friend.
Marcelian joke, but that's also a lesson. It took a hard time and long time for me to learn as well.
I know what I'm joking about, fool.
I think every guy does, because we're taught by Hollywood and the movies that the guys that girls want are these pathetic guys that grovel. How many movies are there, right, where the guy never gets the girl? And he's always there. He's always by her side. He's her best friend. And then towards the end of the movie, they finally kiss and they get married. In real life, that doesn't fucking happen.
It's stereotype bullshit.
That kills the guilt of people. It's like, oh yeah, no, it makes sense because he suffered. Yeah, he has to get it. That's not. Life isn't as easy where you can be that and
In real life, you're the fucking best man, bro. Like, you're gonna be the best man at her wedding. You're not gonna marry her because
that's so good.
Women want a man that respects themselves as well. She wants a man that can be a man, that can stand up for himself and know what he wants, right? The same way we want women that can do that. I know there's all of this talk, men are so afraid of strong, independent women. I don't know where the fuck women find that, but that's not true.
It's not true at all.
It's not for me either.
True. So
no one wants a weak fucking woman that can't stand up for herself. You want someone that can challenge you, that can be your friend, that can be your fucking partner moving forward.
All right.
So I would say to any man watching this, if you're friend zoned, phone that girl right fucking now and tell her, listen here, you're either going on a date with me or you can fuck right off. There's no more friend zone yet.
and listen, for more advices on relationships and friend zones and even more lore speculation, please do go and check out our boy Accolonn on twitch.tv/Accolonn, youtube.com/the Accolonn. The links are over there. I'm pretty sure we got a hell out of a podcast in this one. And hoping you guys too, the ones who watched and the ones who listen, because we're also on Spotify and Google Podcasts and all the places you can find us. We're there. It's been an amazing trip. And once again, my expectations again have been blown.
Yeah, it was really cool.
What the fuck?
It's one of the, and I think people can tell this is one of the most personal podcasts that we've been through. We don't really want to push the note of, just talk about everything that bothers you or that bothers you. But if you're this open, it's so cool. It reflects that you've accepted a lot of things, and that's also really a big sign of growth. And hey, guys. Just like Accolonn said, the face that you see here is not everything. We're like people behind it. We have our own shit going on, and hey, we want to connect. We want to be people, stuff like that.
That's it. It was beautiful. So
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Accolonn, Stefan, for joining.
I think Stefan was really, really cool.
And being this open and getting into subjects that normally people would be a little bit hesitant to go into. I think it's important, it's inspiring, and look at you. I mean, if there's an example of overcoming shit, there he is. There's the man.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it to each and every one of you. So fucking amazing. I had a ton of fun on this.
All right, man. This has been really cool. Hope to have you again on the podcast. And best of luck. You're definitely gonna get the subs. Don't worry about it. It's just a matter of time. And the hustle, you said it yourself.
Keep on the hustle, the grinding. It's there. It's there.
Your guys are going on to your 100K, right?
Hopefully.
You're moving on to 100K.
Hopefully,
that's the goal.
That's the week. That's the same thing. Right around December, something like that. Hopefully, we'll get there.
Hopefully we'll both make our marks. Both have about 20K to go, so we can fucking do it.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of time, man. We're
park.
definitely gonna get there. Drink a metaphorical beer once we achieve it.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Of course, man. It's been a real pleasure.
Our pleasure. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the 7th episode of MoCast. Thank you, Mr. Flame.
And thank you, Mr. Marcelian, for spearheading this one. This was one of the coolest conversations we had yet. And, of course, everybody's cool. And next week, you're going to have a new guest.
I can bet they will not expect this one because it's so out of the blue, but you'll see.
It's gonna be pretty good. So thank you, everybody. Marcelian said it. You can find us on multiple platforms.
Spotify,
there's our links down.
Podcasts.
No, this way, like
somewhere
right there. Something like that. So catch you guys in the next episode.
Next Monday, baby. Bye bye.
I'ma do it /bow. Still I play WoW. Still I play WoW.